back to the show. I'm Sherelle Roberts. We got the Let's Talk team here, and at the table with us is Eugenia Johnson-Smith with the Midway Museum. Hey, welcome to the table. Welcome. We are so glad to have you here. I like your shirt. Midway Community Historian.
Oh, that's cool.
So you are an author. You've written several books, but today you're here to talk to us about Midway Museum's newest book. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So this book,
I'll hold it up here while you talk about it. Yeah.
okay, so this book just came out July the 8th. We had the book launch. So it has stories in it mostly about the families, their genealogy, their family trees, photos of all kinds of things in the Midway community.
Yeah,
That's incredible. Like, what were some of the interesting discoveries that you found when putting this book together?
Well, for some of the books, some of the people in there, we had lots of photographs, but we didn't really have the names to them.
Yeah.
So we were able to put names to photos.
Nice.
And they also went through the cemeteries in town, the historically African-American cemeteries, and located different people as far as that. We were able to put people on people's family trees. So that was one of the interesting
Fill in
things.
some missing pieces of puzzles in people's family trees. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
That's
So
very, very cool.
how is this book going to affect the youth and the future generations in Midway?
Yeah, that's very cool.
Well, of course, when the museum first started a few years ago, and they were putting together, curating the different histories, they realized that they didn't have a lot of the stories of African-American families in Midway. You know, people growing up, you hear the stories of all the things that our relatives did, but we didn't really have documentation. So with this book and with the museum, they wanted to make sure that they told the story of all the Midway residents and not just a certain society of Midway. So they were able to speak with lots of people in Midway. So the book is a compilation of not just the historians that worked on it or the museum board, but they also involve the community members, the elderly members of the community who have all the stories. So they were able to talk to them and get the stories firsthand, because once they pass away, those voices are silent, and nobody will ever hear those in the future. So for the future generations of Midway and the state of Kentucky as well, they're going to have something that is concrete, that's proof that they were there, that's proof that they were part of the community. Because the African-American citizens in Midway have contributed a lot to what it is today.
Yeah, for sure.
Eugenia,
Yes, ma'am.
how can people get this book and participate in any future events that are going to be related to the book?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. So we want people to come to Midway and see our great city and what we have to offer. So if you come to the museum, you're able to get a book there. The museum board wanted to make sure that the books were free of charge for one per household, but of course, to publish the book, it was not free. So we were able to do it for about a $15 per book cost, but we're asking for donations. To continue with the publications and to help with the publications. And also, I'd like to do a shout out real quick to Kingland Foundation, Museum, and individual donors help to produce the books that we have.
It's a labor of love.
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
definitely
Very,
was.
very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about this really, really cool book. I got to flip through it quickly. Great pictures, great stuff in here. So thank you so much, and to all the historians who did this work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Yeah.
So come to Midway.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. All right, everybody, coming up after the break, I hate to tell you, but your pillows are likely very, very gross.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.